Hello my dear students, I hope you are well. In today's lesson we will be studying grammar. The lesson is entitled Modals. The main objective is to practice the use of modals in the present, past and passive. Are you ready? So let's start. We will begin with an exercise about modals in the past and present. What do the following people express? We have possibility in the present. Possibility means that something may or may not happen. We aren't sure. Certainty in the present. Certainty indicates that we are sure that something will happen. C. Impossibility in the present. Impossibility means that it is impossible that something will happen. John is a serious student. This is what his or her teacher said about him. John must succeed because he is one of my best students. His friends said, John can't fail, he is always top of the class. His parents said, John can succeed in the final exam. Take 5 minutes to do the exercise and then compare your answers with the ones that are in this video. This is the answer to the exercise. What do the following people express? Teacher, John must succeed because he is one of my best students. Here we have used must plus an infinitive. We have must plus succeed to express certainty. It's like we said, John will certainly succeed in the exam. Number 2, friends. John can't fail, he is always top of the class. Here we have used can't plus an infinitive to express impossibility. It's like we said, it's impossible that John will fail in his exam. Number 3, parents. John can succeed in the final exam. Here we have used can plus an infinitive, can plus succeed, to express possibility. It's like we said, it's possible that John will succeed in the final exam. This is another exercise. What do the people express? Possibility in the past, certainty in the past, or impossibility in the past. Sentence 1. Sarah can't have known about your illness, otherwise she would have visited you. Sentence 2. Barbara didn't visit us last week. She must have been very busy. Sentence number 3. Simon may have forgotten about my birthday. He didn't come to the party. You have 5 minutes to do the exercise, and then you can see whether your answers are true or not. This is the answer to our exercise. What do the following people express? Sentence 1. Sarah can't have known about your illness, otherwise she would have visited you. Here we have can plus have plus known, which is the past participle of know, and we have the modal can't expresses impossibility. Sentence 2. Barbara didn't visit us last week. She must have been very busy. We have must plus have plus been, and been here is the past participle of be. The modal must expresses certainty. Number 3, Simon may have forgotten about my birthday. He didn't come to the party. We have may plus have plus forgotten, which is the past participle of forget, and the modal may expresses possibility. Now let's move to exercise C. Match the speakers with each of the following statements. Then say which modal verbs are in the present and which ones are in the past. We have number 1, NGO representative to citizens. Number 2, teacher to students. Number 3, consultant to investor. You have A, you must revise your lessons regularly if you want to improve your level. You ought to consider all offers before you choose one. You should participate in the development of your city or your village. You ought to join an association to be active members in your society. You should have bought cheap pieces of land. You had to study English seriously during the previous 2 years. Now, after you have finished your exercise, you can now compare your answers to the ones that are in this video. We have 1, NGO representative to citizens. One of the statements that can be used by an NGO representative is sentence C. You should participate in the development of your city or your village. Here we have used should plus participate. Now here the modal that we have used is in the present. When you use a modal plus an infinitive, the tense of the sentence is in the present. Another sentence is D. You ought to join an association to be active members in your village. Here we have ought to, which is a modal. We have used it plus an infinitive to express that the modal is in the present. Number 2, you have teachers or teacher to students. The answer, we have A. You must revise your lessons regularly if you want to improve your level. We have must plus revise, which means that the tense of the modal is in the present. Another statement is F. You had to study English seriously during the previous 2 years. Here we have had to, which is a modal, but it's used here in the past. The infinitive is have to, and the past is had to, which means that the tense we have used in this sentence is the past and not the present. Number 3, consultant to investor. The answer is B. You ought to consider all offers before you choose one. Here the tense of this sentence is the present, because we have used ought to plus an infinitive. Another possible answer is E. You should have bought cheap pieces of land. We have here should plus have plus past participle, which means that the tense here is the past. We use modal, a modal plus have plus past participle. The meaning or the tense of the sentence is in the past. Exercise D. Use the appropriate modal verb with the verb in brackets. Pay attention to the tense, present or past. Sentence 1. Employees respect the rules of our company. Number 2. Employers ensure adequate environment for their employees. Number 3. You start your revision many weeks before. 4. Our boss have a problem these days. We haven't seen him smiling for nearly 2 weeks. 5. Tom met his friends of childhood when he visited his mother in Manchester. I'm not sure. 6. The bank not approve your project a year before because it was not well prepared. You be tired, your eyes are red. Let's correct sentence 1. Employees must respect the rules of our company. Now, when you are given instructions, normally you have to use the present. We have here must plus respect, which means that the verb is in the present. If you want to use it in the past, we should have must plus have plus respected. Must have respected. Number 2. Employers must ensure adequate environment for their employees. Here again we are given instructions, which means that we have to use must plus infinitive in order to express that the modal or the verb is in the present. Number 3. You should have started your revision many weeks before. In this sentence we are given a piece of advice. When you give a piece of advice, you use should plus have plus past participle. Number 4. Our boss must have a problem these days. We haven't seen him smiling for nearly 2 weeks. Here we have these days, which means that we are talking about the present. We must use must plus infinitive to express a modal in the present. 5. Tom can have met his friend of childhood when he visited his mother in Manchester. I'm not sure. Here we have visited, which means that we are talking about the past, and the modal should be used in the past, which means we have to use can plus have plus past participle. Number 6. The bank can't have approved your project a year before because it was not well prepared. Here again we have was not well prepared. The verb is in the past, which means that we are talking about something that happened in the past, and the modal verb should be in the past, which means we have to use can plus have plus past participle. Number 7. You must be tired, your eyes are red. We have here are, this is the verb to be in the present, which means that the meaning is in the present, and we have to use must plus an infinitive to keep the tense in the present. Now let's explain why we use those modals. Sentence 1, we have employees must respect the rules of our company. We use must to express obligation, to say that employees have to respect or employees are obliged to respect the rules of our company. It's the same in sentence 2. Employers must ensure adequate environment for their employees. Here we use must to express obligation, which means that employers have to ensure, or employers are obliged to ensure adequate environment for their employees. Number 3, you should have started your revision many weeks before. We use the structure should plus have plus past participle to give a piece of advice. Number 4, our boss must have a problem these days. We used must to express certainty. It means that we are certain that our boss has a problem. Number 5, Tom can have met his friends. We used can to express possibility. It means that it's possible that Tom has met his friends. Number 6, the bank can't have approved your project. We used can to express impossibility. It's impossible that the bank has approved your project. The last one, you must be tired. We use must to express certainty. It is certain that you are tired. In this section, we will be studying modals in the passive voice. We'll start with modals in the present. Active voice, you must finish this work before you leave. Here we have must plus infinitive, and the sentence is in the present. The passive, this work must be finished before you leave. We use must plus be plus past participle to form the passive. Modals in the past, you should have done this homework last week. This is the active voice. In order to have the passive, we should plus have plus be plus past participle of the verb do. This homework should have been done last week. Exercise A. Rewrite these sentences beginning as suggested. Sentence 1. We all agree that we must take action. We all agree that action. They ought to make things clear to the boss. Things. Number 3. You can find the computer you are looking for in the new supermarket. The computer you are looking for. You have 5 minutes to do the exercise, and then you have to compare your answers to the answers which are in this video. This is the answer. We all agree that we must take action. We all agree that action must be taken. We use must plus be plus past participle of the verb take. Number 2. They ought to make things clear to the boss. Things ought to be made clear to the boss. We use ought to plus be plus past participle of the verb make. Number 3. You can find the computer you are looking for in the new supermarket. The computer you are looking for can be found in the new supermarket. We use can plus be plus past participle of the verb find to form the passive. Exercise B. Put each of the following sentences in the passive using the modal and the verb in brackets. I'm almost sure she was injured in a car accident. You have to use must and hit, she. You have to start with she. Number 2. Maybe the house was there 200 years ago. The house. Number 3. It's impossible that Jay got an invitation to the party. Can't invite Jay. Number 4. It would have been better to make the letter by Federal Express. Ought to send you. This is the correction of the exercise. I'm almost sure she was injured in a car accident. She must have been hit in a car accident. We used must plus have plus been plus past participle of hit. Number 2. Maybe the house was there 200 years ago. The house could have been built 200 years ago. We have here could because we have maybe. Could expresses possibility. Plus have plus been plus past participle of the verb build. Number 3. It's impossible that Jay got an invitation to the party. Jay can't have been invited to the party. We use can't plus have plus been plus past participle of invite. Number 4. It would have been better to mail the letter by Federal Express. You ought to have sent the letter by Federal Express. We used ought to plus have plus the past participle of send. The lesson is over. Thank you so much for your attention. Stay at home, stay safe and hopeful. Goodbye until next time.